Welcome and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Huron's virtual open house. My name is Mustafa Ez. I'm the Director of International Recruitment here at Huron and a former graduate of Huron myself. And in just a few minutes, we're going to introduce you to our wonderful student leaders with heart who are joining us here today to give you their firsthand experience about the international student experience in Canada. We're so thrilled to have you here and can't wait to share with you the incredible opportunities that everything this beautiful country has to offer you as you begin to search for international education destinations. I'm going to begin by just a few words about Canada as a whole and some important things to keep in mind in how it really is a distinct destination for international students. First of all, Canada is consistently ranked in the top 3, often number 1, in terms of quality of life of living around the world. This is when it comes to infrastructure, safety, social services, the environment, and many more. So it is objectively one of the best places in the world to simply live, work, and study. Welcoming and friendly is another thing which Canada is really, really well known for. I have been to over 30 countries around the world, and Canada was one of the ones where by far I felt the most welcomed, connected, and felt very warm and comfortable right off the bat when I first arrived myself as an international student. Diversity is a core part of our country's identity. Canadians hail from all backgrounds and all ethnicities and languages and previous nationalities, and newcomers here find that Canada's multicultural society is a huge advantage when settling in compared to many other countries as well. The education system is top-notch. Canada invests more in its public education system, of which the universities are included, than any G7 country per capita. And it's the most educated country in the world, with over 64% of the population holding a bachelor's degree. Last but definitely not least is the incredible ability for international students to gain plenty of work experience during their time in Canada, both during and after their studies. Compared to other destinations, whether it's the US, the UK, or Australia, Canada offers significantly more opportunities for international students to work on or off campus, regardless of their degree, and also to be able to access really outstanding postgraduate opportunities. When you complete a 4-year undergraduate degree in Canada, you have the chance to actually receive a 3-year open post-graduation work permit, allowing you to work anywhere in the country. And down the line, you can also explore options with regards to permanent residency and citizenship, and also have the ability to have the time that you've spent as a student or an employee counted towards that citizenship eligibility. I know my family was very proud of choosing Canada compared to many other destinations around the world when I was searching for options, but that's enough from me for now. I want you to hear it from our actual students who are here in Canada, here at Huron, living the experience day in, day out, and they are here to answer any of your questions. So after their introductions, please don't hesitate to ask them absolutely any questions on your mind. You can ask through the chat feature, or you could use the raise hand feature if you wish to ask your question verbally, and our team will give you access to ask those questions through your microphone. Either is welcomed. Today is all about you and answering your questions and making sure you have the information you need, so don't be shy to ask anything at all. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the humans of Huron, our wonderful leaders with heart, who will each introduce themselves now. Tony, please feel free to begin.
Amazing. Hey everyone, my name is Tony. I'm a 4th-year student pursuing a Bachelor of Arts degree, majoring in governance, leadership, and ethics, as it's stated. I was born and brought up in Qatar, and if you have any interest in soccer, or how people in the international community call it football, all of us are very much looking forward to the FIFA 2022 World Cup. And with the interest that I have in soccer and finance, I have taken up the position as the Vice President of Finance, part of the Huron Soccer Club. I'm also the VP of Finance, part of Student Offering Support at Western as well, which is an organization that focuses on raising funds to develop educational projects in Latin America. And as an organization, we've completed over 235 projects with over 2.5 million invested over the years. And it is just amazing to be part of such influential projects. So if you are interested in clubs across finance, sports, or even recreation, or need an inquiry answered from an international student perspective, feel free to message me at Unibuddy. I'll put the link down below, and that's a small plug, but bear with me. Um, I chose Huron University because of how Huron is open to innovative development. Just last year, we had the Huron Investment Club, which was established with funds being allocated by Huron University to help students, regardless of their educational degree, to have an understanding of investing and managing investment portfolio, which is so important in our current age. Especially among the young adult demographic, it is essential to build multiple streams of income. And it is because of Huron's vision to see students grow, not just in their academics or extracurriculars, but in various fronts. This shared vision is why I chose Huron. And lastly, my favorite event at Huron University was the Sidewalk Talk mental health awareness event that had taken place, where I had the opportunity to take up the role as an active listener and connect with students across various nationalities, especially first-year students who are trying to connect with the new environment, build connections, and find their groups. To this day, I have those connections with those students, especially being in my last year. I'd like to carry forward these connections along with me. And that's pretty much my introduction.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tony. So inspiring to see your work that you've done with the club system and giving such opportunities to fellow students through your ideas. So thank you for that. Elsie, we'd love to have you welcome the crowd and also introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elsie Marie. I am from Kenya, and I'm currently in my third year studying organizational studies with a specialization in management, policy and ethics. One thing I would say that made me choose Canada was just the diverse nature of the country, and Huron specifically in reference to the small class sizes, which is something I really valued from high school, as the classes then and at Huron are very much similar. Additionally, Huron also has a very small community that tends to interact often, as the school is not very big, which helps you like just make new friends and helps you with the whole process of adjusting to life at the campus. And I would say a highlight of being at Huron was the International Week. Just the whole process of them helping you from the moment you land at the airport until you adjust your time at Huron. Something that really caught me was the use of the SEOs, which are student engagement officers, who help you throughout the year with any issues you may have on campus, be it student life, academics, or just learning your way around and being involved in the Huron community. And because of this, I decided to join this team in my second year, and I have been a member of it up until my third year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elsie. That's really great to hear. And Aryan, please feel free to go ahead.
Perfect. Just wanted to confirm if you can hear me clearly. Perfect. I don't think I can compete with the introduction that just Tony and Elsie gave right now, so I'm not going to mention a lot. Hi, everybody. My name is Aryan Lakhanpal. I'm a second-year international student studying at Huron University College at the University of Western Ontario. And I'm pursuing economics alongside research and a certificate in practical German. I did my high school back in New Delhi, India from DPS Vasant Kunj, and I had a great time there. One of the main reasons that I chose Huron was I felt a sense of belongingness here. The thing is, when you're traveling from thousands of miles away, it's not very easy, or it's not very the direct path that you feel right away at home. But I think at Huron, since the first day, I've really felt at home. Like I can definitely say that it's my home in Canada. So definitely I did not have any time wherein I was not, feeling the best on campus or something. So I believe that was one of the major factors for me. Also, I think Elsie mentioned it already that we have such a small community. We have such a tight-knit community that people know where you're coming from. Professors know your name. People know your story. I think that is something that I really value, because when you're interacting in a class of 30 or 35, as compared to when you're interacting in a class of 200 or 250, sometimes you just don't feel the personal connection. Sometimes you just don't get the motivation to reach out to professors, maybe to reach out to friends. I believe Huron definitely does that. It does definitely provide you the motivation that you need for just to take the next step. So I think that definitely worked for me. Also, the highlight for me, being in London, being in Canada was one of the major highlights for me, because I personally I'm not very fond of the winter, because I've heard there is so much winter going on in Canada. It's going to be so cold or something. I'm definitely surviving. I'm very happy that I had my first winter here. But I think London as a city, Canada as a country is very, very welcoming. So definitely interacting with clubs at Huron, interacting with people at Huron, and plus just the pleasure of being in London, Ontario. I think that definitely has been the highlight for me right now. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ariane. And so to all the students and parents joining us here today, feel free to submit any questions you have for our international students that you'd like answered through the chat feature, or you're also welcome to use the raise hand feature for unmuting if you wish to ask your question verbally. I'm going to begin now with some of the first questions received. And Elsie, the first question is for you. So students are really wondering, what is it like when you first land in Canada and you're exiting Toronto Airport? I know that's where they meet wonderful student engagement officers such as yourself. What does International Welcome Week hold for them? And just how nervous should they be about the very first 2 weeks in Canada?
Looking back at my first year, I'd say Huron really helps you throughout the whole process of accustoming to life in Canada. The first thing that they usually do is the airport pickup. I recall in my first year, I traveled to Canada alongside my father, and just the whole welcoming nature of them realizing who you are, having the banners, it just helps you already feel welcomed to the Huron community. Throughout the week, you also partake in various events such as a formal dinner, having tours of the Huron and Western campus where you'll be having most of your lessons throughout the year. And the most exciting part, I'd say, is the tour of downtown London. This is where they take you downtown and you just explore the whole city in general and learn about the Canadian culture, which is something that I would say is very important considering that you're coming into a new country, and it just helps you adapt easier if you know about places where you can come and spend time with friends, and just how life in Canada will be for the next 4 years of your study. Also, another highlight from the experience, I would say, is the Western concert, which happens on the last day of International Welcome Week. You go and interact with Western students and also other students from the affiliates. And I just think the whole idea of like making sure that the students interact and you know about the other schools within the Western community just helps you see the importance of building our community aspect at Western and Huron. Thank you.
Wonderful, Elsie. How exciting to look into. And, we offer a level of support for international students arriving that you really can't find anywhere else. I mean, I enjoy being there with you guys in our big red shirts, our Welcome to Canada sign, our pizzas at the airport, and knowing every incoming student on a first name basis means they'll have support with everything from SIM cards, bank accounts, health insurance. I know that no one here has to worry about doing that on their own, thanks to the amazing efforts for SEOs like you. So thanks, Elsie, for sharing that. Tony, our next question is actually for you, since you were a residence Don. Students are asking about life in the on-campus residence. What can they look forward to in first year? And perhaps if you can give some context as to who a residence Don is and what they do, that would be really helpful, as well as some insights into the events that happen during the residence.
Perfect. As a resident Don, the main task is to just be there for your frosh and resident students, and be a first point of contact for them. If they have any questions about the incoming events that's happening, or even if there is any inquiry that they wanted to be answered, we're always the first point of contact for them. And I think one of the most important aspects of my job as a resident Don was the fact that being able to interact with people of different cultures and different nationalities, and being able to connect them all together and bring them together for different events is something that I very much enjoyed. And I'm doing that on a continuous basis currently as I'm a resident Don for this year as well. And I really look forward to building those connections, because at the end of the day, Canada as a country has constantly focused on this as building network, building relationships, and even here at Huron as well, networking is a primary asset. And even as an international student, the advice that I've been given is that try to build connections as much as you can, because when it comes to the job prospects, job market, connections play a very important role. And just being able to have that as well, part of my job as a resident don, it's just an amazing experience.
Amazing, Tony. Thank you. And to the students and parents here today, did you know that Huron is actually one of the only campuses that offers 100% single rooms for every single student? So yes, here you don't have to share a room with a random student. Don't worry about someone snoring in the middle of the night or any other inconveniences. Whichever one of our 3 residences that you do choose, you have a spacious private room. And on the screen in front of you, you can actually get some insights into the different kinds of rooms we offer, what they look like, and so on. Now, our next question that's been asked is actually for you, Aryan. So the question is, number one, it's a 2-part question. It's why did you choose Canada overall? And specifically, why did you choose London? Like, how does it compare to Toronto, Vancouver, or Montreal, for example?
Okay, perfect. Okay, one of the main reasons that I chose Canada is stability. I believe when I hear of Canada from an Indian student's perspective, I remember talking about it to my parents. Which country would be one of the best ones for me to study abroad. I think Canada was the first country that we had in mind because just of the stability that the country offers. The thing is, I don't want to compare it to other countries or something, but when it comes to Canada as a specific country, you get the stability. You have a sense of security in mind that okay, down the lane, as Mustafa mentioned in this session as well, that you have so many opportunities to work further. You have opportunities to apply for maybe a permanent residency or maybe a citizenship down the lane. So you always have a sense of security in your mind that, okay, if I am traveling from India to Canada and I want to stay further, I do have the opportunities to do that. So Canada definitely was, I think, my first choice and my only choice for me to study abroad. Other than that, about London, okay. London, Ontario. I think it's a great city for students to live in. Now, when it comes to London, and when you compare it with a city like Toronto, like everyone, I've actually seen people mentioning about cities like Toronto, Vancouver, all times when they want to study abroad. The thing is, data definitely says that London is like 18 or 90%, 19% cheaper in the cost of living. There are so many differences between Toronto and London that I have actually noticed. Before coming to London, all of this was just like facts for me. But when I actually arrived in London, I could definitely see the difference here. Also, London as a city is filled with a lot of students, like Western students, Huron, King's Prussia, everyone's here, right? So I believe that this student community or this student city definitely makes me feel at home. For example, when I go out on the streets, I'm able to meet my friends, I'm able to meet the students living nearby. So London, I think that definitely helped for me. Also, the temperature here. So I mentioned earlier that I'm not the biggest fan of the winter. I'm not the biggest fan of the snow. But what I realized, it actually isn't that bad because back in New Delhi, the temperature used to be like 5 degrees, 4 degrees, the lowest that it could get. Here it gets to maybe, a little minus temperature or something. But what I noticed, it really isn't that bad. If I can survive it, I can definitely say that everyone's going to be fine with the winter here. So I just had my first snow. I was talking to Mustafa about it. I just had my first snow around like 5 or 6 days ago. And I went out to play a soccer game in that snow. So definitely it was an experience that I will never be able to forget. But other than, talking bad about the snow, I definitely can say that it's not that bad. So London as a city filled with a lot of students, filled with a lot of, communities. Also, I don't want to say I'm the most cultural guy or something, but I can say that I definitely love to see when, people dress up in Indian outfits here. So there are a lot of places that people, dress up in Indian outfits. We celebrate Diwali here in London as well. So I think all of these things just make me feel at home. So definitely London was a very, very good choice for me. Thanks.
Great insights, Aryan. Thank you so much for sharing. Elsie, coming back to you, I know you really, really have enjoyed so many different kind of events, extracurriculars here at Huron. And I know that Huron offers free international trips for international students. Sorry, free trips to Niagara Falls, Toronto, and other destinations for international students. Can you give us some insights into what's been the highlights so far of your experience here in that sense?
I would say most of the events that I attended were in my first year, as this is when they want to help students learn more about the country in general and their famous attractions. I recall going for the Halloween fair at Canada's Wonderland. What was interesting about that day was the first day that I actually saw snow. So the fact that I saw snow while going on rides and all that was just a very good experience. And it also helped me make new friends and build stronger bonds with the existing friends I had. I'd say it was a very interesting experience because for me back home, we don't really celebrate events like Halloween. So just coming here and being exposed to such events was really a highlight. And for the past reading week, which was I think 2 to 3 weeks ago, I got the opportunity to go to Niagara, this time as an SEO leader. It was nice to lead the first years doing the trip to Niagara. As I recall, in my first year, I didn't really go for the trip as I unfortunately had an exam on that day. The scenery there was amazing, as you get to see one of the largest waterfalls in the world, and it's a magical sight. Yes. And we also got the opportunity to go on rides, interact, just walk through the whole city and learn more about Niagara. And something that me and my friends did was go up the tower, and just seeing the waterfall from that view is amazing. So such opportunities will be available to all first years throughout their time at Huron, specifically in their first year, just to help you interact and make friends. And it's something that I would say is really amazing about Huron.
How fun, Elsie. And I know that Niagara Falls scene, it's quite beautiful. You know, it's one thing seeing it online, and then it takes your breath away seeing there in person. I know every year our international students just love that experience. And Tony, we have our final question for you. You're quite famous here on campus for your involvement in the student club scene. You have created a lot of experiences, like you said, soccer club, investment club. What kind of other extracurricular or club opportunities can students look forward to, including your own or others?
I'd have to say there's quite a few of them. Especially one thing that I'm very much looking forward to is the Huron Adventure Club that we have just recently started. Just having to go for those events and upcoming ones, and probably having hiking as one of them as well. I just see this as a multidimensional pathway for students. And it's, as I said earlier, it's not just about academics and extracurriculars, and it's about building networks. And through these clubs that we have over here, even clubs that's focused on the Huron wellness, about wellness of students, be it in the mental health sector, or even just helping students to focus on themselves and bring their shared vision as well. Something that I did not mention earlier was the fact that Huron is very much supportive of our visions and what we have in mind, or what we see as innovation. And so if you believe that there's a club that you have in mind, a mandate that you see is unique to the existing clubs, you yourself can start a club here at Huron and bring students as well. We have our club's commissioner Emma as well, and it's just an amazing process to see that Huron is very accepting to what we have in mind and what we believe as innovation. And I think this is one of the common reasons as to why I have chosen Huron as well. It's because they see that us as students it's not just about education, and it's to see us grow in our sectors and see us to become influential people in this country as well. So that's pretty much it.
Outstanding, Tony. Thank you so much. So much to share. Over 200 plus clubs. I know I'll show you all from my own time here as a student. I had the opportunity to join various clubs too. Some insights from my undergrad, whether it's Model UN with trips across the country. That picture over there with the car is our supercar club. So that's my dog and not my Lamborghini. I did take her to that car show. Aviation club, the Halloween haunt that Elsie spoke about, and Huron bringing puppies to the library during exam season to help you de-stress. Those are some of my own favorite memories as well. Thank you for sharing yours, and thank you everyone for your wonderful questions today. I just want to mention a couple of housekeeping items regarding today's events. I've shared in the chat feature a PDF with the schedule and Zoom links for the remainder of today's sessions. And there you also have the contact information in case you're facing any technical difficulties and would require some support. Now, my colleague, Mrs. Alicia McLeod from our events team will also be here in this Zoom call to answer any questions you have about connecting to the next event. The next event begins in 2 minutes. It's regarding international student scholarships, financing your studies in Canada, and there I will give you full insights into how to submit a competitive application for Huron's $100,000 International Presidential Scholarship. Double check your email inbox for the Zoom link for this event, or use the PDF in the chat in front of you. It will remain live for a few minutes to allow you to access that event. On behalf of all of us here at Team Huron and our wonderful team of student leaders, we are thrilled to have had you this morning and look forward to seeing you throughout the remainder of today's events. Bye-bye for now.